19-year-old Kanika Jenkins, along with her 3 friends, were driving to the Crown Plaza Hotel in Chicago, Illinois. It was a Friday night, and the girls had been invited to a big birthday party on the 9th floor of the hotel. A few hours into the party, a witness would tell police that when they went up to give Kanika a hug, she could barely stand, she was so intoxicated. At about 3 a.m., Kanika and the 3 friends she had showed up with decided it was time to leave the party and head home. They go down to the lobby, and that's when Kanika realizes she doesn't have her car keys or her phone. Her friends told her to stay in the lobby. They would go back up to the hotel room and look for her things. Her friends go back upstairs, they search the room for a few minutes, and they finally find her purse that had her cell phone and her keys in it. They go back down to the lobby, and Kanika's not there. So they call Kanika's mother, and they say, "We can't find Kanika, and we have her phone and we have her keys." And Kanika's mom said she was coming to the hotel and she was going to find Kanika. Kanika's mom arrives at the hotel around 5 a.m. and the first thing she does is she talks to the front desk manager and says, "Hey, my daughter was here and her friends can't find her. Would you mind using the security footage to show us where she went?" And the hotel was totally unhelpful. They were like, "Well, we can't show it to you unless there's an official missing person report." So she leaves the hotel and she calls police. The police were willing to help, but they viewed this as, your daughter was at a party, she's probably with her friends somewhere, and they advised her that she should just wait a couple of hours, see if your daughter turns up, and if she doesn't, call us back. Kanika's mom is now doubly frustrated that there's no one who's going to help her, and so she decides that she's going to search for her daughter on her own. And so she goes back into the hotel and she goes up to the 9th floor and she begins going room to room, knocking on every single door and seeing if Kanika is inside or if anybody knows anything about Kanika. The hotel finds out and they call the police on her and say she needs to leave. She's trespassing now. Police show up to deal with Kanika's mother, who sees the police and says, "Can you please just ask them to show you the security footage? My daughter's been missing for 10 hours now." They go to the front desk. They say, "Show us the security footage." They show them the footage and they discover Kanika stumbling through the hotel at 3:20 in the morning. She walks down the hall and can barely stand, and she goes into the kitchen. She kind of stumbles through the kitchen and then vanishes out of sight. They decide to just go down to the kitchen and look for her in there. And so at 12:48 a.m. on Sunday now, they discover Kanika. She had stumbled into a walk-in freezer that was left open for reasons we don't know, and then once inside, she'd accidentally shut the door and she froze to death. Although Kanika's death was ultimately ruled an accident, one could make the case that had the hotel allowed Kanika's mother to review the footage just 2 hours after Kanika went missing, perhaps she would have found the footage that led them to the kitchen. They could have gone down and found her before she froze to death, but we'll never know.